Hi everybody, welcome back. Today is skill building number 2. We're going to be focusing on the exercises that we learned in the past week, which was noticing hands and noticing thoughts. So we're going to begin today with a similar exercise as we did before, where we're going to use our hands and we're going to start kind of warming them up, and then we're going to focus on the sensations in our hands, and then I'm going to transition into the thoughts. So you'll hear a bell kind of come after we focus on the hands, and then halfway through that meditation we're going to switch into our compassion exercise. So we'll finish with that. So get your hands ready and let's get started. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is we would just want to take a moment to notice our hands. See if you can really just pay attention, and you might turn them around and really just notice and observe your hands as if you've never seen them before. And you can kind of move your fingers around and notice the difference. Notice if your hands feel tense or relaxed. And just take a moment to observe the hands. And then when you're ready, we're going to place our hands together like this, and we're going to start rotating just like we did before. And just notice the sensations and the sounds that your hand makes as you kind of move them around. And now see if we can pick up the speed. Notice what that does. Notice the difference. And kind of get faster and faster. And then we're going to transition into the phase where we want a lot of heat. So really put some energy in it. See you really pushing, getting some heat in your hands. And then on the count of 3, we're going to slap our hands, clap one time, and then we're going to hold our hands as if we're holding a ball. Ready? 1, 2, 3. And now notice the sensations in your hands. See if you can really tune your awareness as if you were shining a flashlight of awareness onto your hands. And notice any tingling, pulsing, throbbing. Notice if one hand feels more sensations than the other. Notice if your hands shift. If one hand feels more sensation and the other then feels sensation. If it's almost like you're passing energy. Sometimes you can feel a pulsing on one side and then a pulsing on the other. And now, see if you can just place your hands in your lap. Relax the hands and notice what that does. Notice if there's a difference. Notice if there's relief that has come now that you've placed your hands down. Notice what happens. Just notice the sensations, and in a moment you're going to hear the bell, and then you can gently close your eyes and sit in an upright position, and we're going to start to focus on the thoughts that go through our mind. And while you're doing this, you can also notice the sensations in your hands as we begin. So here we go. So I'll invite you to close your eyes and just notice. Notice the thoughts that are going through the mind. Notice if your heartbeat is fast after all that friction that you created by rubbing your hands. Notice if you can feel your heart. Just kind of scan through the body from the top of your head all the way down, seeing if you can notice any sensations in the body as you scan through, maybe areas of discomfort or tension. Just scanning through, and then when you get to your feet, pushing your feet on the ground, just kind of grounding yourself, feeling your feet on the ground. And then we'll shift to noticing the thoughts that are in the mind, tuning in, focusing your awareness. And notice each time a thought comes in, and remember we can label these thoughts as past, past, or future, future, or sticky thought, if you notice that the thoughts keep sticking. See if you can notice the thoughts coming in and labeling them, and then allowing them to just pass by. And if they stick around, then simply notice that. Notice that they're sticky. And remembering that it's perfectly normal for the thoughts to come in and for you to become distracted, whether it be by excessive thoughts or a particular thought, or sounds, or body sensations, or emotions. And just seeing if you can notice that this has happened, and then redirect as best you can back to the thoughts, the noticing and naming them. Past, past, future, future. Sticky thought, sticky thought. And each time the mind wanders, simply bringing your awareness back to the thinking, to the thoughts, noticing each time. Noticing if they become more frequent or less frequent as you pay attention to them. Noticing the urge to maybe push certain thoughts away. And seeing if you can simply name the thoughts rather than push them away. Simply allow them to come and go as you notice and name what's happening. And each time the mind wanders, bringing it back as best you can, back to the thoughts and naming them. Noticing if they're future thoughts or past thoughts, or if they're just sticky. And you might even name them painful thoughts or worrying thoughts. You may notice that you become distracted, and remembering that this is perfectly natural. And that there's no right or wrong way to do this exercise. We're simply flexing our awareness muscle. Flexing our ability to tune in and observe, that observing self. Tuning in. And in a moment, you'll hear the sound of the bell. And this will transition us into our compassion exercise. So seeing if you can now bring your awareness back to the body. So letting the thoughts go and bringing your awareness back to the body. Noticing how you are sitting or lying down. Seeing if you can make contact, whether it's through your feet or your back or your bottom. Just noticing how your body is pushing on the surface you are lying or sitting on. Just noticing that. And noticing the body and noticing how you're breathing without having to change the breath, but simply noticing the breath. And now we're going to say our statements of compassion, and we're going to be sending compassion to ourselves today, because many of us are struggling and finding this quarantine really difficult. This social distancing has become hard. Having to school our children at home has become hard. Perhaps we're an essential worker and we're finding it difficult to go out into the world. And do our jobs with all the stress and the fear. I'm going to send some self-compassion today as we wrap up. May I be safe and protected. May I be healthy and strong. May I live with ease and with kindness in this world. And in a moment, you'll hear the sound of the bell and seeing if you can stay with the sound until you no longer hear it. And then when you're ready, you may open your eyes. Thanks, everybody. Hope you're all doing okay. And more videos will be coming shortly in the coming days. Thanks for watching. Bye.